Hello everyone and welcome back to another project. In this project I'm going to show you the face recognition based attendance system. It's a computer vision based project and there is no hardware part, and of course it's an industry graded project, as you can deploy it for educational institutions or for any other organizations that require attendance system. And I follow the biometric approach, which is the face recognition approach for logging the attendance information. So as usual, I'll be describing the features of my project, and then I will show you the demonstration and some of the technical aspects of my project, the way the project works, I should say. So with no delay, let's dive in to the features of my project. So initially, I have to train my model and generate a pickle file corresponding the authorized persons. For example, I have 3 images over here. That means I'll be generating the encodings, which is the root, which is the key resource to do the face recognition for these 3 images. So the first step is to generate the encodings, and for the demonstration purpose I've used here 3 of these files, 3 of these images, and you must ensure that you are renaming the images with the ID of the person. After the ID you may keep the name, but it's very important to ensure that you have the ID of the person in each of the file names of the images, and this ID will eventually be the verification key, will eventually be the authorization key, I should say. So you have to generate the encodings and extract the student IDs from separating the integer part from this string or from this file name, and then you have to pack them into a pickle file, the encodings and the student IDs. So this step is known as the encoding generation. The step is known as encoding generation, and if you simply click on here, the encodings will be generated. It may take a while. For me, it takes, for these 3 images, it takes around 10 to 12 seconds for generating the encodings. I believe the file will be generated very shortly. Yes, as you can see, the pickle file has been generated that contains the student IDs and the encodings for these 3 images. Now let's talk about the attendance features. So after that, this is the train images. This is the root database for the images that contains the samples that I've trained my model with, that I've generated the encodings for. And then I have another Excel file which is known as root database. So this Excel file mainly contains the information of each of these employees or each of these students, like number, which is the order, the ID, the name, the date of birth, and there might be multiple fields. That doesn't matter. We really don't care about that. What is important is the ID field, because this is the main verification key. However, we won't be verifying from this root database, rather from the images, but this information may be required for showing the name on the screen, like which person was authorized and so on, like the attendance of which person was logged and so on. So that's all about the root database. And there will be 2 more Excel sheets generated. One is the daily records and the other is the individual records. The individual records will contain the information of individual students in different dates, and the daily records will contain the information of all the students, like when they entered, when they exited, and so on. So the files are not available yet as I've not run the code, but once I run the code, the files will be, the Excel files will be available. If the face is recognized, then it's going to log the information for sure. So I will come back here, but before that I have to run the code. Otherwise I won't be able to show these attendance records. And another good feature that I've kept is that if you have authorized one of your faces right now, you can authorize the same face or scan the same face in 10 seconds. You can adjust the timer on basis of your requirement, like for 5 hours, like for 1 hour, and so on. But for now, for demonstration purpose, I've kept the timer for 10 seconds. So if you're authorized right now, you can authorize yourself or scan your ID once again or log your information within 10 seconds. You have to come back after 10 seconds. This is one good feature. The other feature is our system is scalable. That means you can anytime include new samples, which I'll be showing you. You can see train new images. The new samples that you're gonna add, you simply have to add these images here and then run another code. I'll be showing you that shortly. And this way you can easily extend the encodings, extend the pickle file, override the pickle file without training the entire database. Rather, you just only train the new samples and then extend the existing pickle file with the new encodings and student IDs, I should say, or the person IDs in other words. So that's how it should work. So right now, with no delay, I would like to directly dive into a demonstration. So as I've already shown you that I've already generated the pickle file. So I'd like to run the recognition and the attendance part. So it works in a number. Let me run the code first. So what happens here, when I'll get my face within the virtual zone, let me wait a while until it comes. You will see that it will tell you the information as I get down. Pickle file loaded, and it shows you the information of the IDs within the pickle file. So what happens here is that initially I have to unpack the pickle file. The pickle file contains the encodings and the student IDs. So I have to unpack the pickle file, and then as I get my face within the virtual zone, it will generate new encodings, and it will compare the new encodings with the encodings of the unpacked pickle file with the known encodings. And if the encodings are matching, then the face will be authorized, otherwise the face will not be authorized. And in that case, if the face is authorized, then the attendance will be logged, otherwise the attendance won't be logged. So I'd like to right now check if my face is working. I would like to get my face within the virtual zone and see if it works. You see the stimulography and the student ID, and it was authorized. So I've removed my face from the virtual zone, because as I keep my face from within the virtual zone, it detects a face, and it lags. The FPS decreases because the recognition takes some computational time. So right now, let me see if it works with the other faces. So right now I'll be scanning my brother's face and see if it works. You see, it has authorized my brother, who is Arafat Haq Nashid. And as these are the first entries, they must be noted as the noted in the entry field, and the second or the third entries will be logged as the time will be logged as the exit time. So let me scan another one. Well, it's a bit difficult to get the face properly because my phone's display is not that good. You see, it has authorized Iqbal Hussain Iman, and these are the faces that were available in my training file. And as I've scanned them for the first time, the log will be in the entry field. I mean, the exit field will be null. And as I scan the same faces for the second or the third time, then the exit field will be updating. The time of the exit field will be updating, which is one of the another good part of our project, I should say. So now I would like to check the logs if they have been updated properly. So I have to go to face recognition. Let's check the database. So I'll be checking the daily records. You see today's date 7/8. So as you can see, I scanned 3 of the face IDs. One was mine, the stimulography. Let me increase it a bit. Okay, the DOB will be available if you just expand it, but I really don't need to see the DOB. I'm not bothered about that. So I scanned my face, my brothers and Iqbal's, and you see the entry field being updated with the time. Nil means the person has not entered yet. Over here you can see nil, that means the person has not exited yet. So right now if I scan my face for one more time, then it will be updating the exit field. But it may happen that for example, you have entered at 8 a.m. The first time your face was scanned will always be considered as the entry time, and later at 9 a.m. or 10 a.m. you scanned mistakenly your face for one more time, so that will be counted as the exit. But you will exit the institution or the organization, for example, at 5 p.m. So what happens in that case? In that case, the exit value will keep updating no matter how many times you scan. But the first time you scan will be counted as the entry. Later, the exit field will keep updating as you keep scanning your faces. For example, you scan at 3, you scan at 4, you scan at 5. Then the last scan time, which is 5 p.m. will be logged here. Nil means that they didn't enter, they didn't leave, and so on. So it's in my case, as you can see, with my ID and name, the exit is nil because I have not exited yet. So right now I would like to run the code for one more time. No, I don't want to make any changes there. I would like to run the code for one more time and scan my face and see if the exit field is updating. So let's see if it works. So I'm running the code. Let me get out of the virtual zone. Yeah, now I'll get within the virtual zone and see if it works. You see, it's telling me authorize the simulography. My name was also below. And let's scan Iqbal's face and see if it works. Okay, it's telling me to wait for 10 seconds because the reason is maybe it got him authorized. That's why you can authorize yourself once again within 10 seconds. That is another feature. You see authorized Iqbal Hussain Iman. So it's going to log his information. But if you authorize yourself right now and then try to authorize yourself within, before a time interval, then that's not going to be counted. For example, let me show that once again. Like, let me authorize him. Authorized, and now if you try to authorize again within 10 seconds, it will tell you wait 10 seconds Iqbal Hussain Iman. So that's another good part. Like you can scan your face ID after scanning one within an interval. So that's another feature. Now I would like to show you if the exit field has been updated. So let's get into here. Let's see the daily records. You see Iqbal Hussain, the exit time has been updated, which is 23:29, which is 11:29, and the time is 11:29 right now. Let's go to individual records and see his information. Must be this one. Well, these are the file names. The file names for the individual records are generated with the IDs, and of course you can find the name corresponding this ID from the root database. Check in the root database, which is available right over here. So you check the root database and you can of course find out. For example, over here the ID is ID is 85 towards the end. So 85 is Iqbal Hussain Iman. So you can find out, trace out the name. So you can see that the entry and the exit has been updated. If he does the same on tomorrow, then another row will be created with tomorrow's date and the entry and the exit will be logged accordingly. So I believe I've shown you the individual records as well the daily records. So the daily records are generated, a new Excel sheet corresponding the day is generated with the date of that day, as you can see, and as you get in, you see that the exit of Iqbal has been updated. So this is in the same way you can update all of them. Now if I get my if I get my face, as I've already shown you, I got my face for the second or third time and the exit has been updated accordingly. Iqbal's face, I got it for second or third time, and you can see that the exit time has been updated. Now if you scan yourself once again, like let me show you, let me scan myself. Currently the exit time is 11:28, and right now I'd like to scan and see if the exit time updates. Yes, it's authorized myself. So let's check if the exit time has been updated to 11:31. So you can see that the exit time has been updated to 11:31. So that's all about the logs. That's how the attendance are being logged. The daily records that contains the information of all the students, all the employees when they entered and when they exited, and the individual records that contains the information of each person on different dates. And for the daily records, it contains the information of all the persons within a single Excel sheet. So for the daily records, a new Excel sheet is going to be generated every day, and for the individual records, an Excel sheet is going to be generated corresponding each of the persons or each of the users, and the information on different dates will be logged there accordingly. So right now I'd like to show you how the system is scalable. I mean, how you can increase your database. Like for example, after 2 or 3 months, you have some of the new employees available. So let's see, we have a directory over here, as you can see, train new images. So I have two of the new images over here. One is of Neil Armstrong and the other is of Emmanuel Macron, and I want to train them. So what you can do is that you can get these 2 images in the train folder and then train the entire image, but train the entire database, but this is not efficient at all. This is quite inefficient. So in order to avoid this, what you can do is you can extend the existing encodings with the newly generated encodings. So what I'm going to do, it's very straightforward. I'm going to create new encodings corresponding the new samples, and then I will merge it with the existing encodings. So I have to unpack the existing pickle file. I have to generate new encodings for them, and then merge it with the existing encodings, extend the existing encoding, and overwrite the pickle file with the new encodings, with the updated encodings. After that, what you have to do is upgrade the root database. So let me go to root database, where it's right over here, and after coming here, you have to log the information for the newly added samples like Emmanuel Macro and Neil Armstrong. So let me load them. I have already preloaded, so they are available. So no matter what the name you write, what DOB you write, but ensure that the ID is correct. Ensure that the ID is same as the ID as you added there, as you kept here, right? Like 197000101 for Neil Armstrong and the other one for Emmanuel Macro. So once you have already, once you are already done with this training the new samples to the existing database, you can of course cut them and paste them right over here, because they have already been trained, as I've already shown you. So you have logged the information for Neil Armstrong and Emmanuel Macro, which are the newly added samples to the database, and after that I would like to save it and show you if it recognizes correctly Emmanuel Macro and Neil Armstrong, and updates the information accordingly. So let's scan Emmanuel Macro. As you can see, authorized Emmanuel Macro. Well, the display of my cell phone is not that much good. Whatever. You see, it has authorized Neil Armstrong, and let's see if the files have been updated, if the log has been updated. Well, let me exit as well. See what happens. So this must be considered as the exit. Okay, let me get closer. Well, the display. Well, this is a very old photograph, so the recognition may not. You see, it said unauthorized for a while. Actually, it was not. It was of course authorized initially. It's telling me to wait for 10 seconds because of the time limits. Yes, authorized Neil Armstrong. Well, scanning the image from the cell phone is not a good idea, not at all, unless you have a good display. So let's see if the log has been updated accordingly. Let's go to database. Let's check the daily records first. You see the log has been updated for Emmanuel Macro. I believe you can see for Emmanuel Macro and Neil Armstrong. You can see the entry, exit, entry, exit. And right now if you scan one more time, the exit field will be upgraded. The first scan is the entry and the last scan of the day will be counted as the exit. Now let's check the individual records. If there is a new field, you see 1970 dot 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 dot, this corresponds to Neil Armstrong and this corresponds to Emmanuel Macro. You see that the entry and the exit of Emmanuel Macro has also been updated here. So I believe I have been able to make myself clear enough. The good features are like the exit field updates automatically. You can the project is scalable. You can easily add new samples to the database without training the entire database for one more time. And the other fact that I've already told you is that is an ID which has been scanned right now. We can of course settle a timer there so that the ID may not be authorized even he's getting within the frame, within the virtual zone before the timer expires, which is 10 seconds in my case. So I believe I have been able to make myself clear enough. Hope you like the project. It's an industry grade project because you can directly deploy it in case of educational institutions or for any kind of organizations. So that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye for now.